Care and Surgery Center, Pittsburg State University, and Ryan Insurance.
Now let's go live courtside for tonight's pregame show on ESPN 100.7.
The journey to Topeka, Kansas begins now as the 2018 Class 5A Sub-State begins here on Radio X 103.5. The Evolution as Pittsburg High School is set to take on Mark McQuillan's Lansing Lions alongside Caleb Wood now with Anthony Sweeney back in our Radio X studio. Cam Molina with you. Last time out for Kylie Roll's Purple Dragons. How about an SEK win to tune up and cap off the regular season? 20 games have come and gone, and the Dragons have 17 wins in the record book compared to McQuillan's 5 and 15 Lions. But offense has been the primary story for Kylie Roll's boys. They've topped 70-plus points in the last 5-plus matchups, and they look to carry that into sub-state play. And with that, we will take a 2-minute commercial break and come back with Kylie Rolls and his thoughts ahead of tonight's game against the Lions. You are listening to Radio X 103.5 and Purple Dragon Basketball.
Does your current checking account pay you up to $15 per month? With Common Sense Checking at University Bank, you can earn up to $15 per statement cycle, 10 cents for each swipe after the first 15 swipes. Qualifying is so easy. Simply have one direct deposit or auto payment plus 15 debit card purchases each.
It's a feeling you get the moment you step on campus.
It's the knowledge that you become part of something more.
We're a family of Crimson and Gold.
Every day we challenge ourselves to achieve more.
The reason why we're here is to make a difference.
Everybody wants to stand out.
Without standing apart.
You belong.
At Pittsburg State University.
What do you want from your bank?
Access to my account information on my phone.
Security, convenience, and friendly staff.
When I call, I want to speak with a real person.
I want it all. Low fees, low loan rates, and high deposit rates.
What if there was a place like this in your community? There is. Kansas Teachers Community Credit Union, with locations in Pittsburg, Fort Scott, Independence, and Coffeyville, serving area residents since 1949.
Headquartered in Richmond, Kansas, QSI Quality Structures Incorporated specializes in designing and building complete post-frame buildings. We provide structures built to withstand a 30-pound ground snow load and a 90-mile-per-hour wind shear built to the most stringent codes. Whether you need a garage, agricultural building, commercial facility, or custom-built design, we're your one-stop shop for post-frame buildings. QSI. Everything we do is right on cue.
Hello and welcome back to Radio X 103.5 The Evolution. Cam Molina joined by Pittsburg High School boys basketball coach Kylie Roll. Coach, last time you break through some very turbulent weather to get to Coffeyville, Kansas, took on the Golden Tornadoes. Coach, I know we spoke prior to the game and you discussed you wanted your guys to focus on some emphasis areas, some points that you wanted to be a bit more crisp heading into sub-state. How did you feel you guys executed in that regard?
Oh, there was definitely some areas I thought we played pretty well in. Some other areas we need to sharpen up some more, and that's part of what this is all about, and how you move forward. So, overall, we won fairly handily at Coffeyville, who has a good basketball team. We won on the road. So, overall, you walk away from there feeling good about the ability to move on. But, there's always things we feel like we can do better.
Well, Coach, I know you've humored me for the last few weeks, but I'm going to ask this question one last time. It's just about confidence heading into sub-state. How big was that last win and being able to get nearly 10 straight wins and a conference title heading into postseason play?
Well, they're all big, and I know it sounds so cliche. I know that, but they all are, and momentum is definitely something we've been riding here for a little bit, and we hope to continue to ride. So, being able to go there and play fairly well and keep that going is a big key this time of year as you head into postseason, without a doubt.
Coach, you will have Lansing in the first round of Sub-State. You are hosting, set to tip off at 7 p.m. I just want to ask, what is the process like preparing for a team that you may not be as familiar with compared to some of your conference foes? You come out of conference play and then a club that's significant distance away from you. Just touch on the process of finishing the game Friday, getting your guys together, composed, looking at some tape, and getting them ready for the upcoming matchup.
Well, the good news is it's a lot easier in today's world than it was, as recently as probably 7 or 8 years ago. With Huddle and the technology that's available, once the matchups were done on Saturday morning, coaches across the state were able to get on Huddle essentially and start tracking down video of their opponents, and we were no different from that. So, within a couple hours, I had at least 2 videos in our possession of Lansing, just online essentially. And by the end of the weekend, I had about 5 or 6, I think, of recent games of them, and that's pretty typical. I would bet for most coaches across the state. So, you start looking at them as a staff, you break it down and figure out, all the stuff that we figure out about all the other opponents throughout the season, and then we'll sit the guys down today before practice, and we'll go through our scouting report and show them some clips of some things relative to Lansing, and then we'll get on the floor and try to prepare to get ready to do things well tomorrow night. So it's changed so much in the last, again, 5 to 10 years in terms of being able to get video and how quickly you can and everything else. It's really been a benefit for coaches in terms of time, because it used to take a lot longer than that just to get a hold of stuff. So.
Currently talking with Pittsburg High School boys basketball coach Kylie Roll. Well, can you give me just a little bit of insight into how it was in the past prior to the implementation of some of these programs? I mean, I don't mean to date you, but you've been coaching for a little while, so you have experience with prior to all of these programs and softwares.
Well, you'd try to look ahead and get an idea of who you might play, and track down and get in touch with those coaches, so that if that ends up being the case, you have a way to either have them quickly mail it, try to overnight it, or meet them somewhere, which was a very logical thing that used to be done all the time. Coach, I'll meet you. If you're playing in school, if you're getting video from somebody in Kansas City, I'll meet you in Lewisburg at Saturday morning or whatever, and exchange video there. Or if they're not, if they're not getting video back from you, you might have to drive all the way to Kansas City yourself, because they don't have a reason to drive to Lewisburg because they're not getting anything from you. So, it was mail, which, mail can always bring about some questions as well, especially when you're dealing with finding out things on a Saturday. When you play on Tuesday, it leaves very little time for that to actually happen. So, it was hopping in a car a lot of times, early in the morning, late at night or whatever, getting it back home, and then hopping it in the VCR or the DVD player and trying to break it down from there. So it was done. We spent many hours on the road or trying to track down stuff on the phone to get things mailed or anything else, but it was done.
Coach, it's obviously a very battle-tested club. They've been through thick and thin with one another, a fairly senior-laden bunch. Can you talk about the atmosphere in the locker room in terms of maybe there's not as much anxiousness compared to years past where some of the younger guys are going into sub-state for the first time, but now you have a much more seasoned group and a much more veteran group heading into a sub-state like the one that's upcoming. Can you just touch on that?
Well, I do think experience does help. I think, we do have a lot of older guys that have been through it now, and I think our younger guys can look to them and hopefully understand that, yeah, things are different, but really things aren't different. And that's the important thing this week, is to understand that, yeah, it is that time of year, but, we're going to go through our regular routine, and we've got to get ready to play like we normally play and play to our strengths and do the things that enable us to be successful. So, leadership and experience is a very important thing this time of year, without a doubt, and I think it is helpful for us to have a lot of those guys that have been through it.
Coach, you've looked at some tape of Lansing. Can you just touch on what about Lansing High School that poses a threat to you guys in your first round of sub-state?
Well, they are. I think they're significantly better than the record indicates. They've been in, several close games that they just came out on the wrong end of. They have good size and good athleticism. They've played against good competition all year long. So, we're going to need to play solid on both ends. I don't think there's any question, and you should have to this time of year. That's the thing about this time of year is if you want to win in advance, you've got to know that you're going to have to play good basketball, and they will present many problems that'll make us have to do that without a doubt. They score out of several positions, and so we will need to get ready and be at our best starting tomorrow night without a doubt.
Once again, that was Kylie Rolls, head boys basketball coach of the Pittsburg High School Purple Dragons. We are back shortly on 103.5 Radio X, The Evolution, with starting rotations ahead of tonight's first round of Sub-State. You're listening to the home of Purple Dragon Athletics.
Customer first, safety always. It's not just a tagline, it's the Watco way. By focusing on safety, each and every day they build a future by protecting their customers, team members, community, and the environment. When Watco moves commodities by rail, river, and road, at home or across North America and Australia, their priority is to ensure that they deliver their loads safely and on time. Watco wishes all area teams a safe and successful season.
I had no idea you did that.
That's what I said when I learned CDL does more than just electrical work. Like plumbing, heat and air, security cameras and alarms, generators, solar panels, even signs for my business. CDL really is one company that has a solution for about everything in my home and business. Learn more at cdlsolution.com.
Advanced technology, comprehensive quality care. That's Canar Eye Care. We have the newest technology, but we never lose sight of what's most important, our patients. Eye care has changed dramatically in recent years, and we've been there for you every step of the way. At Canar Eye Care, patients spend time with doctors. Total eye care from contact lenses, including bifocal contacts, treatment of disease, and surgical co-management. Canar Eye Care, the clear choice.
Find them fast in names and numbers.
Stop in at Bo's One Stop for everything from gas to groceries. Bo's has drink specials daily from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. In a hurry, grab a hot cup of coffee and hot breakfast or lunch from the deli and watch for daily specials. Bo's One Stop also has fishing supplies. Bo's One Stop is really just that, your one stop for all your in-the-hurry world with great friendly service. Bo's would like to congratulate the Pittsburg High Dragons on a great season and continued success in the playoffs. Before you head to the game, stop in at Bo's One Stop on 4th Street, Pittsburgh. Go Dragons!
Let's go back live courtside.
You are listening to Radio X 103.5, The Evolution, and Pittsburg High School boys basketball team's first sub-state matchup against the Lansing Lions. The national anthem is set to begin just a second, so we will take a 2-minute commercial break and bring you back to Pittsburg High School following these messages.
Are you tired of all those confusing checking account options? The Kansas Teachers Community Credit Union makes your choice simple. We only have one option. Our checking account has no monthly fees, and if you maintain a $2,000 minimum balance, we pay you interest. Get the Credit Union Advantage at 416 North Broadway or call 620-231-5719 for more information. Deposits are federally insured by NCUA up to $250,000.
Located in Pittsburgh, Guest Home Estates 4 provides independent and assisted living services in a warm and friendly environment. They are Medicaid approved and work hard to meet their clients' needs affordably, efficiently, and compassionately. Guest Home Estates 4 would like to congratulate both the girls and boys Pittsburgh High School basketball teams on a great season and continued success throughout the playoffs, and a special wish to the seniors. Guest Home Estates 4, call them today and get a peace of mind. 620-235-0522. Go Dragons!
What's the buzz around Community National Bank and Trust? They're talking mobile banking, instant issue debit cards, rewards checking and credit cards, and let's not forget e-power checking, paying better than CD-like rates on a checking account, plus nationwide ATM fee refunds. Get in on the buzz. Community National Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
Grilling season's year-round in these parts. You can almost hear the sizzle of a juicy steak. Don't forget to check your propane levels, and if you're low, it's time to head to Kirkland Welding Supply. Most 20-pound grill tank exchanges contain only 17 to 18 pounds of propane, but at Kirkland's, when you get your grill tank filled, Kirkland's will fill it to 20 pounds. Why pay for propane you aren't getting? Kirkland Welding Supply, 3rd and Joplin in Pittsburg, and at 1301 East Wall in Fort Scott, open 8 to 5 Monday through Friday and 9 to noon Saturday.
Stream this online at ESPN1007.com.
You heard the bump. You can stream all of your favorite Purple Dragon action live on our sports headquarters website, ESPN100.7.com. Alongside Caleb Witt now, the superb Anthony Sweeney back at our Radio X 103.5 studio. Camelina with you. How about the Pittsburg High School Purple Dragons offense firing on all cylinders as of late? They were able to drop 80 points on Coffeyville last week. Prior to that, taking on a very tough Joplin team, winning 66-49, and then wrapping up the season against consecutive SEK opponents, downing Quebec County 76-53. Prior to that, a win against Chanute, 75-59, and then against Parsons, a season-high 89 points. So the Purple Dragons offense has been sublime the last 2 weeks, and they'll have to bottle up all that energy and intensity and bring it into tonight's very first Class 5A sub-state game against the Lansing Lions. And the Lions, coached by Mark McQuillan, overall 5-15 on the season, suffered a loss to Baser Linwood, 66-48. Caleb Adams and Logan Barnard led all scorers with 14 points and 12 rebounds. How about we meet the rest of the starting lineup for the Lions tonight? It will be Caleb Adams and Logan Barnard, as mentioned before, with Connor McQuillan, Jamin Remington, and Andrew Mallon. As for the Pittsburg High School Purple Dragons, Chase Curtis is flanked to the front court by Marquis English, Drew Rolfs, Gavin Elkamill, and Jared Butcher round out the backcourt. The Purple Dragons wearing their home white uniforms with purple numerals and lettering. As for the Lions, they are sporting their blood red visiting uniforms with black numerals and lettering trimmed by a white outline. Most of them wearing red Nike shoes. Everyone seems very uniform. No accessories for any of the players of the Lions either. Student section for the Dragons getting hyped as tip-off is just seconds away. English tips off against Remington, and Remington will swat it up in the air, bobbled around momentarily, and it's recovered by the Lions as we begin the first round of sub-state in Class 5A. Far side wing, a ball screen set by Bernard. Out the Lions to free up for a second. McQuillan working with the rock is Remington. Remington goes off the bounds, sweeps inside the lane, goes from his left hand to his right hand and scores. Remington, one of the tallest players on the floor for the Lions, and in transition, Jared Butcher rivals a pass to an open Marquis English as the Dragons respond following a lay-in by Remington. At the point, it's McQuillan who darts a pass to the far side wing. Chest pass by Adams to the near side corner. Working with the rock is Bernard. Bernard reverses it to Remington, right back to the far side corner where Bernard's at. At the top of the arch, it's Adams. Adams scans. Very unselfish play early on by the Lions. Good job by English on the help side defense towards the far side of the lane, swatting the basketball away. The rock will stay with the Lions after the ball trickled out of bounds. The Globe in the hands of McQuillan as Connor McQuillan, sporting the number 5 with his Nike jersey, scans the floor. He'll flip the ball near side corner to an open Remington who shoots a contested deep two-pointer in the 17-footer off kilter, rebounded by Curtis. First missed shot tonight by Remington on 2 attempts. Right wing Butcher, his 3-ball is shy and will bounce off the lip of the iron, decides to take a big pogo stick hop over the top of the backboard and goes out of bounds. 2-ball to score just a minute into the sub-state contest, and the complexion of Class 5A in the East bracket has Pittsburg atop the standings with a 17-3 record, Kansas City Schlegel with a 15-5 record, Wyandotte third, 12-5, and then Topeka Seaman High School with a 13-7 record. Those are your top 4 teams in Class 5A in the East bracket. Attacking is McQuillan. He'll look right corner, three-pointer. Remington well short. Tracking down the basketball is Curtis. Curtis lost it off his white Nike shoes, and it trickles out of bounds. The ball will remain with the Lions. 6:32 remaining in this first quarter of play. It's a far side out from Adams as he prospects. It's just flipped into the front court, and the rock is knocked away as Elkamill and Butcher provide the double team. In transition is Butcher, he will cross the timeline, dribbles right-handed, scans. Ball screen set by Curtis before the ball's reversed to Elkamill. Elkamil sizing up Remington. Good defense as Bernard jumps in front of Curtis on the low post entry feed from Elkamil. Swats the way, and the ball will roll away and go out of bounds. Butcher scans on the inbound. He finds an open sophomore Elkamil. Left wing, English looks for the cutting. Butcher goes with a reverse lane and a foul on the floor. Trailing on defense was Andrew Allen trying to catch up to Butcher, but Butcher used his body and his physical nature to create a little bit of room against Allen and went straight up. Allen just a little late and a bit rushed on that closeout opportunity. Regardless, I think Butcher, if he was not fouled, would have had the lay-in. English catches 3 feet away from the basket. He goes to the beautiful left foot drop step, gets to the right hand and scores. 4-2, Dragons lead by 2 minutes into the contest. Steal by Curtis on the defensive end. Elkamil and company trying to turn defense into offense. He will size up Adams, kicks the ball out. Far side corner, English rips a pass. Left wing, Rolfs, the senior guard for the Purple Dragons, fakes a pass to the left, and after he feinted, he'll interchange with Jarek Butcher. Butcher goes midcourt, standing on the Purple Dragon logo that has flames emitting from its nostrils. Remington defending Elkamil. He'll go right into the body of Remington, hoists up the ball after double clutching it to his shoulder, misses the shot but is able to track his own miss down, reverses it. Rolfs will sell the head fake. Late rotation by Allen. Allen nearly caught off guard as Curtis sets a high ball screen. English with the favorable matchup, but Remington is able to knock the ball away following a poor low post feed by Butcher. Steal by the Lions, and orchestrating the offense will be McQuillan. McQuillan scans to his left. Open is Remington, who will work with the rock. He'll curl inside and a foul on the floor. Sluggish out of the gate, each team has been thus far. And the foul is on Wolves, his first and the team's first against the Purple Dragons. Inbound by Lansing. Adams inbounds, finds McQuillan. Right wing 3 is up, and that one goes down. So McQuillan's able to drill the trifecta, giving Lansing a 5-4 lead, under 5 to go in the first quarter. Elkamil at the high post, sizing up Adams, who will force Elkamil back outside of the horseshoe. Ball's ripped left wing to Butcher, then to English, down low to Curtis. Curtis double clutches to his left ear. McQuillan as well as Barnard double down on Curtis and force the miss. Remington goes to the body of Butcher, finishes inside left hand. Beautiful move by Jaden Remington. And Jaden Remington, so acrobatic when he has the rock. He's very elusive in the front court, very mobile, and he was able to get by and blow by the remaining Dragons for the left-handed lay-in. Curtis looks low, double team against English, but English is still able to execute and score with his left hand. He's 3 of 3 from the field thus far, as PHS trails by 1, 7-6, and it's a 1-2-2 zone at the midcourt, shown by the Dragons, nearly forcing the trap and the turnover. Allen, right wing 3, is off kilter. Tracked down by Gavin Elkamil, and Elkamil trying to shuck off one of the Lansing defenders in Adams. Adams corrals and forces Elkamil back with Allen. Catching the ball, right block is Rolfs. Rolfs head fakes, tries to go straight up through traffic, unable to convert, and the ball is rebounded by McQuillan. McQuillan already 2 boards early on in this contest. Remington at midcourt, he traveled, and that was an easy call. He tried to act like the ball was stripped out of his hands and he was just trying to rush to it to recover it. But the real case was he just tossed it from his hip and let the ball roll forward. It was a good acting job on his part, but afterwards, Remington came out of that double team really irritated. He was irked and went right over to his teammate, and Adams said, "Hey, I need some help. You can't just sit in the corner." Jake Tangeman will sub in for Lansing, as going to the bench was Andrew Allen. In addition, on the hardwood is Antoine Cooper for the Lions. At the point, it's English. He looks low, snipes a pass to Curtis. Curtis loses his handle on the sphere. He fumbled it around and stole it away as the ball ricocheted off the leg of Cooper. The ball jumped right into the hands of McQuillan, and McQuillan has the ball tipped away. He's being defended by English, and English, that is where his versatility really comes into play on the defensive end. Speaking of defense, Jarek Butcher jumps the passing lane near corner, knocks the ball out of bounds, nearly saved it in front of Coach Kylie Rolfs, who's sporting all Purple Dragon colors. He has a light purple hued vest, in addition a purple striped shirt as Curtis subs out. Trenton Austin, the junior forward, comes in. It's a near side inbound for Adams as he scans. Cooper flashes open, as does McQuillan. McQuillan will catch the basketball in the recesses of the front court. He's able to split both Jarek Butcher and English, who were there on the double team. Far side short corner 2 is up by Tangaman. That one does not fall. Good defense by the Dragons, forcing a pretty errant, difficult shot. Austin will catch in the front court, inside the post, the right wing. He'll whip the ball outside the perimeter to an open Butcher, but Austin tracks down the offensive rebound. Turnaround right-hand shot goes through. Jarek Butcher so smooth, about 5 to 6 feet away from the basket. And that was a difficult shot after the offensive rebound. He did a quick turn away from his left shoulder, shot with the right hand on the fall-away jump shot, and it fell through. Steal by the Purple Dragons again. English running the transition offense. He cannot convert with his left hand. First miss by English tonight. McQuillan again, another rebound, goes in with the right hand reverse laying off the left side of the window. What a tough shot by the guard for the Lions. 9-8 the score. Lansing leads on the road in the first sub-state matchup in Class 5A. Denied at the top of the peak of the shot by Austin. Good defense by Remington, knocking it away as Austin attempted a dive bomb inside the key to the can, and it was turned away. Elkamil, as well as English, trying to bring another half-court double team. Ball scooped over left corner 3. Cooper's trifecta, no. Elkamil garners his third rebound of the night. Very frenetic pace from both sides thus far. No one has really established a half-court set. The Dragons are trying to look to the low post. They did there as Austin catches far side block, rips through from his left knee to his right knee, and goes straight up through traffic to score. Trenton Austin, 2 of 2 to start the contest from the floor. Remington, tough turnaround jump shot. Correction, turnaround jump shot by Adams. He was defended by Austin, the much taller, lengthier defender, and was still able to score over the top of him. English goes with an up and under, brings the ball. Left hand tries to go with the ice cream scoop shot. No, misses his first shot. Second shot, no. Third opportunity is good, though. So English had 3 offensive attempts and converted one of them. He has 8 points and 2 rebounds on the night, both offensive on that previous sequence. English will come out to greet McQuillan like a greeting card. McQuillan picks up the ball at the high post, takes 2 steps to the middle of the lane, kicks out to Cooper left wing. His trifecta, no. Cooper 0 of 2 from deep thus far, and the Lions have really settled for those outside shots. It's not as if they've been challenge shots nor bad opportunities, but they're 1 of 5 thus far. Elkamil, as well as English, look down low for Trenton. Austin over the top on the tip-in opportunity, and Austin is fouled and 1. English tossed the ball up as if it was going to be an alley-oop attempt. Austin caught towards the right side of his head, tipped the ball in the air, ricocheted out the window and down through the bottom of the net. 14-11, Dragons lead by 3. 32 seconds left in the first quarter of play. Javon Grant, the freshman for the Purple Dragons, enters the contest for the first time tonight. Chase Curtis checks back in. Butcher, as well as Wolfs, goes to the bench. And Trenton Austin converts the and 1. He set the ball waist level and then flicked his wrist and was able to score with ease. Cooper catches midcourt following the full court press shown by the Dragons. Lansing has held the Dragons in check when they run that full court / half court trap. They've been very poised and have done a great job working the ball around the perimeter. Speaking of which, Bernard looks left corner to Cooper, who's able to whip the ball inside, right back to a curling Bernard, and Bernard has his first point of the night. 6 seconds left. Javon Grant loses the ball off his shoe. Loose ball, tracking it down as Reese Thomas. It's going to be a full court heat by McQuillan. This one's up through the air and far right of the backboard. After the end of the first quarter of action, it is 15-13. The Dragons, who have 12 more wins than the Lions in regular season play, have been shown out thus far. And if the records are any indication from each of these sides, records do not matter. And with that, we will step aside for 30 seconds to bring you back more action from Radio X 103.5, The Evolution.
No one wants to file for bankruptcy, but a wage garnishment can make it hard to pay the rent, pay the pharmacy, or even feed the family. Bankruptcy can be a viable option to help families cope with unfortunate and unforeseen financial hardship. Call Steve Stockert at Wilbert & Towner, 620-231-5620 for a consultation to find out if bankruptcy is the right choice for you and your family. Call today. Wilbert & Towner, a full-service law firm, 620-231-5620. We are a debt relief agency, helping people find the relief they need in bankruptcy.
Let's go back live courtside.
It was a seamless first quarter of action from the Pittsburg High School Purple Dragons as well as the Lansing Lions in the first matchup of Class 5A Sub-State. Pittsburg High School hosting and leading 15-13 on the court of the Purple Dragons with fans looking onwards. A lot of disciplined ball play between the two clubs as the freshman Javon Grant with some nifty handles looks to the left block. Gavin Elkamil unable to convert, and that has been the theme following one quarter of action for PHS. So far in the contest, they have shot 7 of 11, but have missed a lot of easy shots about 4 or 5 feet away. Chase Curtis has missed a shot, as have Drew Rolfs and Gavin Elkamil twice. Cooper on the offensive end for the Lions. Wiggles from inside the horseshoe to outside. Working with the rock of McQuillan before he has the ball ripped away by English. Trenton Austin looks to his left. Curtis loses his handle on the rock after the Butterfinger opportunity. He recovers, brings the ball to his left knee and scores. Chase Curtis 2 points in the rebound thus far. And Javon Grant excited as he slaps his hands together. Dragons lead by 4 minutes into the second quarter of play. Right wing with the rock. It is Remington who will size up English. Follow away 2-pointer. That one bounces off the flange. Tracked down by Curtis. He has 2 points, 2 rebounds in the ball game thus far. How about Trenton Austin streaking down the far side baseline to the can, and a beautiful feed by Chase Curtis. Both Chase Curtis and Marquis English have run that baseline play to Trenton Austin to perfection, and credit Austin for what a hard finish when English gave him the rock earlier in that first quarter, but an easy finish this time around. Left wing Cooper, his 3 on its way, and that one falls through the bottom of the nylon. So Cooper now 1 of 4 from deep. After Cooper's make, it's a 3-point ball game, 19-16. Dragons leading in the rebounding department by 7. So the +7 margin has allowed the Dragons not only second chance opportunities, but easy looks in transition. Speaking of which, the Dragons will find Austin in the low post, and he's fouled on his way up. That is only the 4th foul in the ball game, 3rd of the Lions. The first foul committed by Bernard. So Trenton Austin to the free throw line. He leads all scorers currently with 9 points and a rebound. Really impressed after that first quarter of play by the Lansing Lions. They were very composed and poised in that first quarter of play. They did not allow the Dragons to dictate what they did offensively despite the full court and a half court trap facing them. Excellent job, especially in the coaching department by Coach Mark McQuillan, as both free throws, or rather 1 of 2 free throws, rattles home for Trenton Austin. 20-16 to score. Dragons lead and a steal as Drew Rolfs is able to purloin the ball away from Adams, goes into the body of Adams and draws the foul, and he will head to the free throw line, but he comes up off the hardwood limping, favoring his left leg and trying to shake off a quick stinger as he goes to the charity stripe, steps across the free throw line, and then reverses gears and goes back behind the bar. 6 minutes remaining in the first half. 20-16 is the score. First free throw up, and that's off the back iron by Rolfs. Dragons leading 20-16, and again, the Dragons have really had a feather in their cap the last few weeks, as they've only had 1 game in the last 3 weeks that has been under 60 points, and that was against Joplin, in which they had 66 points, but an 89-point outing against Parsons recently. Chanute, good offensive showing. Same thing with Labette County. If you come in with momentum against your league opponents, that is devastating for opponents just because of the fact that you're playing with a bit more moxie than they are. McQuillan on the fast break receives the pass from Adams and finishes with the right hand. Easy finish by McQuillan as Trenton Austin attempted to defend. 21-18 to score following Rolfs. 1 of 2 shots from the free throw line converted. Stolen away is the basketball by Bernard as he looks in front of him for an open McQuillan. McQuillan will set up the offense as English comes out to defend him. English will play a little bit of Matador defense and force McQuillan into help defense. On the left wing, it's Adams shooting a straightaway. Left wing 3, that one goes. It's 21-all now. Beautiful shot by Caleb Adams. No hesitation from the left wing. Good closeout by Rolfs on the perimeter, but it was not enough. Under 5:30 remaining in the first half of play. In an exciting contest, 21 apiece in Class 5A state, or rather Class 5A sub-state. And we'll be back shortly on Radio X 103.5, The Evolution. We'll return in 30 seconds.
Bittner Motors is proud to announce that it is now Pittsburgh's new dealer for the Hustler line of zero-turn lawnmowers. Hustler has manufactured its trademark yellow mower for over 50 years, with each mower being built right here in the U.S. Hustler combines the innovative American spirit with a do-it-right work ethic to produce the best line of zero-turn mowers on the market. Call Mike Bittner at 620-232-1530 or stop by today at 1018 North Broadway in Pittsburgh to check out the Hustler line of zero-turn mowers. Hustler Mowers, made in America at Bittner Motors, Pittsburgh.
And welcome back to your sports headquarters right now on Radio X 103.5, The Evolution. 5 minutes remaining in the first half of play. 21 all is our score between the Purple Dragons and the Lansing Lions. Cam Molina with you for tonight's sub-state game. Trenton Austin as well as Javon Grant will sub out for the Dragons. And coming on to the floor for PHS is both Jarek Butcher and Gavin Elkamil. Ball is inbounded far side corner to an open Allen. Allen will look to the near side of wing for his open teammate in Adams, who works it around the horn. Right corner, Remington fakes to the free throw line. Will go to the free throw line, or nearest it, to the right circle, and he goes with a fall away too, and that one falls through the bottom of the net. Remington 6 points in the contest. He is second on the team on Lansing side in scoring, as Connor McQuillan has 7 points and 3 rebounds currently. Gavin Elkamil tries to spin away from Adams. Straight away three by Inglis. That one off target. Good rebound by Remington, his first of the night. And the Dragons have not settled for three-pointers. That was the first one taken in this contest. However, Lansing leading by 2 points, and they've been playing spectacular, fantastic defense. Remington glides through the lane, goes with his long right hand, and the right hand lane goes through, and there is next to no resistance in the paint by the Dragons. An excellent job by Lansing to stretch out the Dragons' defense. They've done a good job bringing Remington on the perimeter, and offense has been somewhat similar to a 4-out-1-in, where the low post player interchanges as somebody's running the baseline. So it has been a really interesting set where we've had guards for PHS in the low post where they're not used to being there, and that helped defense just a bit off. And it makes things far more interesting when Gavin Elkamil is guarding Connor McQuillan. So instead of Jarek Butcher or Gavin Elkamil, two perimeter-oriented players, it's been the much more wiry, tall English. So that's been interesting to see on the defensive end by Pittsburg High School, who trails by 4, 25-21 with 4:15 remaining in the first half of action. If you are just joining us on Radio X 103.5, The Evolution, alongside Caleb Whitnow with Anthony Sweeney back at our 103.5 studio, Cam Molina with you. You're also able to watch PHS play tonight on our live stream at ESPN100.7.com. Thus far, McQuillan and Remington have combined for 15 of the team's 25 points, and the Lions have been firing on all cylinders throughout this first quarter and a half of action. English to inbound in the backcourt, standing on the purple baseline for the Dragons as he will dart across the timeline. Jarek Butcher will handle the sphere. McQuillan will greet Butcher at midcourt. Butcher raises his right hand and spreads out his 5 fingers, and then Jarek Butcher tries to go on a step-back deuce, and as he did so, it looked like he rolled his right ankle. He was trying to go on a really sharp step back, and as he did so, I think it was his left foot instead of his right foot, but his left foot, his ankle bent in, and he just tumbled to the floor. He seems to be okay. He's moving a bit sluggish, but not enough to cause concern for Coach Rolfs, as Chase Curtis will defend Remington at midcourt before he is able to whip a pass over to the right wing. Ball is reversed, right corner with the rock is McQuillan. He looks low for a cutting Bernard before he loses it, and Gavin Elkamil will march on the break. He'll slow down the cadence of the offense. Transition 3, it's on its way. That one will switch through. Gavin Elkamil is able to knock through not only his first 3 of the night, but first field goal in the backcourt. It is Allen. He looks for McQuillan. He thought about setting a ball screen, but he faked it just enough to where Butcher went around him instead of over the top to greet McQuillan. So McQuillan in the front court, standing on the scaly tail of the Purple Dragon logo. He'll whip a pass over left wing to Remington, who steps inside the horseshoe, far side wing to the left wing, reverses it back out to an open Bernard. Then to McQuillan, who has athletic tape on his right index finger. Right wing, it's Remington dribbling with his dominant right hand before he looks for a curling Adams at the point. He'll go with a head fake, no-look pass to the short corner, skip pass by Menard to the right wing. Allen, no-look pass right over to the deepest portion of the right wing. where an open Remington's at. Remington tough, fadeaway, right wing, trifecta, no. As Wolves tracks down the defensive rebound, lost it for a second, then ultimately recovered and did kind of a Hail Mary scoop, one where he was not really looking to an open Butcher. Gavin Okamill loses his handle on the sphere, keeps it alive as Remington was there on the double team. Dribbling into the zone as Butcher, a follow away on the two-pointer. No, it's a 2-3 zone by the Lions, and Butcher walked right in to the middle of the lane, and trying to hoist a shot up, and that one was a really bad forced attempt as English comes away with the steal. Larceny in progress. He goes in with the right left foot Euro step, goes to the body of Remington, chucks the ball up with his right hand and converts. 26-25, PHS reclaims the lead as they are on a 5-0 run with 2:16 remaining in the first half of action. And what has been a great defensive game, headlined by Remington's performance on the perimeter for the Lions. Any small run counts. And English on the free throw attempt, takes 2 dribbles, sets waist level, then to his forehead and flicks his wrist. Dragons are now up to 27-25 with 2:10 left in the first half. Left wing, Cooper with the rock. Tough inside hand floater, and that is the most difficult floater. Not going to your outside left hand, but to the right inside with the traffic facing you. In transition, Gavin Okamill shovels it backwards to Drew Rose, and he is able to pin it through the bottom of the net. The Dragons streaking right now a 9-0 run. And the Lions have played excellent defense, really exemplary for the first quarter and about 6.5 minutes of this second quarter of play, but have really stumbled here as of late. Jab step by Adams with the right foot. Ball's poked loose, and it's a foul on the Dragons. I'm not sure who the foul was on. It was a late whistle call. The English shaking his head in disapproval. It was on Trenton Austin. Trenton Austin poked the ball out from behind of Adams. The ball was scooped up for a second by Wolves. Then he lost it, recovered by Bernard. I thought the ball would have been with the Lions regardless. McQuillan with the very tricky inbounds as he threw it off the back of Chase Curtis, recovered inbounds and then scored it. The Dragons were completely unaware of the guard for the Lions. McQuillan now with a team-high 9 points. He only trails in the game Trenton Austin with 11. Left wing gets Gavin Okamill looking for the alley-oop attempt to Trenton Austin. It's definitely not there. Neither on the same page, but Trenton Austin ultimately gives up the offensive rebound to Chase Curtis, who goes back up for the right-hand lay-in. Under a minute remaining in the first half of play, 32-27 the score. No look pass. McQuillan will find an open Bernard, who looks off the defense to Cooper left wing. Thinking about going with a partial message over to the right wing was Adams, but then he has McQuillan, who gives up the ball to Remington right corner, his three-pointer now. Rebound by Rolfs. Rolfs scans, looks for Curtis, but Curtis is unable to convert, and then a loose ball foul committed by the Dragons. So Chase Curtis earns his first and the third team foul against the Dragons with just over 25 seconds remaining in the half. 32-27 the score. Make sure to stick around for our halftime report, where we will go over first half numbers as well as a look into the second half of play. Cooper across the timeline as he was able to easily glide past the full court press by the Dragons, and then has Bernard on the lane. A lot of unselfish play by this Lions club. Right wing, Okamill, his trifecta off the flinge. It's loose. With the rock is Bernard. Just a few ticks left. 1 second left of the ball. It's hoisted up. And it goes through the bottom of the nylon as Logan Bernard with back-to-back baskets to close out the first half of play. 32-31. PHS with a 1-point edge heading into the locker room. And with that, we will take a moment and step aside and bring you back more Purple Dragon action on Radio X 103.5, The Evolution.
If you want to improve your basketball skill set, you need to...
It's a feeling you get the moment you step on campus.
It's the knowledge that you become part of something more.
We're a family of Crimson and Gold.
Every day we challenge ourselves to achieve more.
The reason why we're here is to make a difference
Everybody wants to stand out.
without standing apart.
You belong.
At Pittsburg State University.
What's the buzz around Community National Bank and Trust? They're talking mobile banking, instant issue debit cards, rewards checking and credit cards, and let's not forget e-power checking, paying better than CD-like rates on a checking account, plus nationwide ATM fee refunds. Get in on the buzz. Community National Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
What do you want from your bank?
Access to my account information on my phone.
Security, convenience, and friendly staff.
When I call, I want to speak with a real person.
I want it all. Low fees, low loan rates, and high deposit rates.
What if there was a place like this in your community? There is. Kansas Teachers Community Credit Union, with locations in Pittsburg, Fort Scott, Independence, and Coffeyville, serving area residents since 1949.
And we welcome you back to Radio X 103.5, The Evolution, alongside Caleb with now Anthony Sweeney back at our Radio X studio. Cam Molina with you at intermission of the Class 5A first round of Sub-State. It is 32-31. Pittsburg High School hosting against the 16th seed in Class 5A in the East bracket. And I think this has surprised many, as Lansing has not gone into the night quietly and will not allow their season to end on the road, only trailing by one against who have been a very tough team in the Pittsburg High School Purple Dragons. Let's go over those first half numbers. Chase Curtis with 4 points, 3 rebounds, and an assist after one half of action. Drew Rolfs in that first half of play ended up with 5 points, including 2 rebounds. In addition, 3 points scored by Gavin Elkamil, who hit a trifecta late in that second quarter. He's 1 of 3 from the floor with 4 rebounds, 8 points scored in the contest by Marquis English on 4 of 7 shooting, 2 rebounds to his name. And then off the bench, Trenton Austin has been great, as he's done a good job of catching the ball in the low post and has hit a few fadeaway shots. And the Dragons have run some half-court sets for him. Or rather, the Dragons have ran some half-court sets for Austin, where he'll dart down the baseline. It'll be an alley-oop lob, and he's finished on separate occasions. But Caleb Adams, 5 points for the Lansing Lions. Logan Bernard with 6 points in the contest. Connor McQuillan with 9 points and 3 rebounds. 3 points scored by Antoine Cooper, and then Jaden Remington with 8 points in the contest. The Lions cannot sing their praise enough how well they've moved the ball. A lot of unselfishness exemplified on the court, and it's been exemplified through the score on the scoreboard, only trailing the Dragons by 1. But good shooting by Jaden Remington in the contest. He's knocked down 4 of his possible 7 shots. And then Connor McQuillan with 9 points and 3 rebounds. He's a guard for this Lions club, and he's shot 4 of 4 on the contest. He's been very unselfish, and he's moved the ball around very effectively. And again, it goes back to ball movement ultimately for this Lions team, that there's been zero hesitation when the ball's been facilitated around the perimeter. It not only starts with Connor McQuillan and Jaden Remington giving up tough outside looks, or maybe some not as highly contested outside looks, but it's been in addition Caleb Adams, Logan Barnhart, Cooper off the bench, being able to move that ball around without a second's hesitation or really a second thought to teammates who they are very confident in. And to be able to confide in your teammates and say, hey, I trust you and that I'm going to give you the opportunity to score, and pass up maybe an opportunity many other players would take for an even better look. That speaks volumes about what Mark McQuillan has done with this Lansing team. As for the Dragons, they've been extremely limited on the offensive end, and it has been their shots. They've shot 18 attempts tonight, but it really pans out to not finishing in the low post, 1, and then 2, Lansing doing a great job defensively, forcing the ball out of the hands of Marquis English and Chase Curtis, running a 2-3 and a 2-1-2 zone, doubling down to the post and forcing the ball out of the hands of the 2 Dragon forwards that have really been the mainstay as well as the marquee players for this club throughout the season. So to have that primary source of offense out of your playbook early on for Kylie Rolfs, the rest of the players have had to adjust, and it has not looked pretty. And if this is any indication of what next season will be like when both English and Curtis graduate, I'm very fearful if you are a Dragon fan, but the Dragons can really turn it around in this second half offensively and find their roots if they continue to attack low and have English and Curtis facilitate the ball. They've been very hesitant moving the basketball around when they are back to the basket. And they keep their eyes up. Gavin Elkamil, Drew Rolfs have been open on the perimeter. And with defenses scrunch inside of the key and force front court players to shoot over 2-3 outstretched hands, that leaves guys open on the outside. So if you're the front court for the Dragons, whether you are Austin, English, or Curtis, keep your eyes up. And for the Dragons right now, 2 of 3 from downtown, 1-3 by Drew Rolfs, and another by Gavin Elkamil. The shots will fall. You just have to be able to catch the ball, screw up your feet, and shoot. And with that, we will step aside for another 2-minute break and come back with the last minute 45 of halftime before we roll right into the second half of action. You're listening to Radio X 103.5 The Evolution and Pittsburg High School boys basketball.
For each swipe after the first 15 swipes. Qualifying is so easy. Simply have one direct deposit or auto payment plus 15 debit card purchases each statement cycle and a $100 opening deposit. Stop by the bank for more information about our common sense checking. Then swipe and save. It's convenience that pays at University Bank. Branch GMB. Member FDIC.
High school basketball on ESPN 100.7.
And Mary, welcome back to Radio X 103.5 The Evolution. Caleb with now, Anthony Sweeney back at our Radio X studio. Camellia with you. About a minute remaining before the beginning on the second half of action. A few keys for each side. Pittsburg High School, we discussed it a bit prior to last commercial break, in the front court. Both front court players in the starting rotation, and Curtis and English, when they catch that ball in the low post, need to keep their eyes up. English in the past has done a fantastic job of being able to feel out where the defense is at and has been very self-aware of his surroundings. So being able to really exude that in this contest, keep your eyes up, make sure when Remington's defending you on your hip to keep your head up and then cock the ball outside when that double team comes, when the zone is in session, if you will, for the Lions. Finding those open players in Elkamil, Butcher, Rolfs, the threes will begin to fall. And the Dragons have shot very efficiently tonight. They're 2 of 3 from downtown. For the Lions in this second half, continue to do what you're doing. The zone has been great. Defense, excellent. Been very poised when facing that full court zone. In addition, with the half-court trap, they've been very composed and have not really rushed their offense. And credit Connor McQuillan as well as Jaden Remington with the ball has been in those two players' hands. They have not forced the issue or pushed the envelope. They've done a good job playing their pace, dictating, controlling the cadence of the game. And the Dragons have played to that, not being able to run out and score buckets like they usually do. 32-31 Dragons lead by 1 as we start the third quarter. Remington, tough shot after Butcher came over on the help defense. And Remington with the circus shot, gets his own offensive rebound, kicks it out near side wing. The trifecta goes up and down as Caleb Adams is 2-2 from deep. Speaking of 3, Ruff's feeling it as he catches the ball in motion. And it's a trifecta. He is now 2-2 from deep, 8 points in the contest, 35-34 the score. And again, that offensive rebound by Remington really helping out the Lions. If not, BHS would have close to, or would have, a 4-point lead right now. And a foul on the floor, the first foul of the second half, as Elkamil commits his first and the team's first of the second half. Near inside inbound by Andrew Allen, who looks. Allen blank across the board in most statistical categories. With the rock is Adams. He picks up his dribble inside the near side ring, brings the ball to his forehead before reversing it back out to the left elbow extended. Remington right wing before he'll find McQuillan. McQuillan scanned, crosses over, clockwise from right to left. Jarrett Butcher falls. Remington will work baseline. English read it well and knocked it out of bounds. Raindrop meet windshield wiper as that one's wicked away, and it will be a far side inbound for the Lansing Lions, who offensively, court-wise, going from right to left. The Dragons, when they get the basketball, go from left side of the court to the right side of the court. Speaking of right and left, right side of the ring with the rock is Adams before reversing the ball to the top of the key. And excuse me as I stumble on my words, but this in from Heath Adkins, one of our program guys at ESPN. 31-26, Pittsburg State in their playing game with an opportunity to go to Kansas City and participate in the MIAA tournament, lead the Lincoln Lions 31-25. And according to Heath, it was a late run by the Gorillas to put them up front and in the driver's seat heading into the second half of action. A turnover by the Lions offensively, and Elkman will catch the ball near side short corner, rips through against Remington and scores. Marquis English so potent when he's outside of about 5-6 feet. And I discussed his versatility and his diverseness as well as his array of moves in that first half. And he put it on full display there, ripping right in front of Remington and using his speed to maneuver right past the 6'3", 6'4" forward for the Lions. Right wing with the rock is Adams, who will attack right side short corner. Tough right-hand floater, and he's fouled in the act of shooting. I thought it was Elkamo who jumped up and tried to deflect the ball, as the lead official will run over and will give the call that it is on Marquis English. That is English's first foul, the team's second foul of this third quarter. And the Dragons, in the entirety of the first half, had 3 team fouls as the first free throw goes through from Caleb Adams. Adams will have a second opportunity, as in the ball game he has 8 points, and most of those points have been scored from behind the arc as he's been silky smooth from about 21 to 22 feet. Second free throw goes through as Caleb Adams set at his waist level, then went from belt level to chin level and stroked the ball through the bottom of the net. Score 37-36, Dragons lead by 1. Catching the ball outside the horseshoe is English towards the near side wing. They'll try to reverse it back out to Butcher, but Butcher mishandles the rock momentarily. Juggles it, bobbles it, recovers, and goes to the midcourt line. Bounce pass to Elkamil, right wing. He'll attack near side short corner before ripping a pass over to English. English will attack, goes up right-handed, foul and 1. TPT, Throwback Tuesday, as it's the old-fashioned and one opportunity for the hard-nosed Marquis English, as he ripped right in front of Remington, slithered inside the lane, right into the body of Caleb Adams for the finish. Marquis English 6 of 10 from the floor. He's 1 of 2 from the free throw line with 13 points. Shot goes off the back iron and a strong rebound by Logan Bernard. His first of the night. 39-36. Dragons lead by a trifecta with under 5:30 left in the third. Remington to respond. Looks for Bernard on the scoop pass. And we have cleanup on aisle 32 and 2 as Elkamil, Curtis, and English all hit the deck. Remington deking out the entire Purple Dragon defense as this third quarter has been invigorating. Right wing three. Rolfs, no, but Curtis, the offensive rebound, tries to save it as he tiptoed, tap dance along the baseline. McQuillan with the steal. He looks ahead. Adams with the head fake. And he'll reverse it back outside. Smart decision by the Lions backcourt mate and McQuillan. Standing on the chest of the Purple Dragon logo is McQuillan. He'll cross over from right to left, and a timeout used by Mark McQuillan with 4:43 left in the third quarter of play. 39-38, PHS with a 1-point lead as this game and its motif continue early in this third quarter of action. You are listening to the Class 5A Sub-State in Pittsburg High School on Radio X 103.5 The Evolution. Back in 30 seconds. And we welcome you back to Radio X 103.5, The Evolution. Caleb Wittenau, Anthony Sweeney, Cam Molina with you for this East bracket matchup of Class 5A Sub-State. The Dragons, the number 1 overall seed, taking on the 16th seed in Mark McQuillan's Lansing Lions. And the Lions have been full of themselves and very confident in this matchup, and rightfully so, as they only trail by 1, 39-38 in the third quarter with 4:30 to go. Remington, a tough shot for the Lions. He misses on the opposite end, but the ball is recovered after a right wing three-pointer goes up by Elkamil, and that one does not go through. From the left elbow, Adams tries to go with a wraparound right-hand bounce pass in front of English, but instead the ball will trickle out of bounds. It will be a far side baseline inbound by Curtis. Allen will sub out, and into the ball game, Antoine Cooper. Cooper hit a three in the first half of play, sporting a bright red headband to match the blood red uniforms that the Lions are wearing on the road. Dart pass, far side wing from Butcher, who will maneuver and navigate in front of McQuillan. English with the rock, goes to the high post, finds Butcher, high ball screen set, and that was a play designed so that Butcher can get the three-point jump shot straight away, but English will try to rock his way inside the lane, strong-armed his way to the basket, and is foul on the floor. And it's on Bernard. That is his second and the team's second. He's had both in this third quarter. 3:48 remaining in the third frame of action. Jarek Butcher to inbound. He'll slap the globe with his right hand. Looks for a cutting Chase Curtis, who slaps the ball off the window with his right hand and an easy basket. And that was the path of least resistance from the perspective of Jarek Butcher. And it's a 1-2-1 half-court trap by the Purple Dragon. Skip pass by Cooper. Ball loose. Stolen away. I'm not sure what Adams was doing. The ball was right in front of him and allowed the ball to take 2 hops, maybe 3 steps away from him. And then Curtis recovered as English tracks down a miss. He'll dribble it off the baseline, and it's an out of bounds.
In the game for Pittsburg, number 41, Trent Austin.
Jared Butcher will sub in. Jared Butcher will sub out for the Dragons. Trenton Austin will come in as Reese Thomas enters the ball game for Adams. And Coach McQuillan talking with Adams maybe about hustle. I mean, that ball was right in front of Adams, and it's not as if it was a high trajectory jump ball. It was a shallow hopping basketball. Remington looks low for Barnard, and Bernard turns his shot. No. Curtis fights with Austin, his own teammate, for the defensive rebound, and then Curtis loses it off the forehead of the junior forward in Austin, and it will remain with the Lions. Box set by Lansing High School. Remington will set a cross screen, freeing up Bernard. He'll rip through against English. Quick left-hand turnaround hook shot is good, and Bernard faked out English entirely, who thought Bernard was going to go right into his chest, but instead it was just a little joust and a little thrust with the right shoulder, and then a left-hand hook shot. Rolf straight away trifecta from about 25 feet away. That one does not go through. McQuillan with the defensive rebound, his 4th of the contest. Head fake, Bernard goes up, left-hand float shot goes through, and Bernard has been in a tear in this contest in the ball game. 6 of 6 from inside the horseshoe. and 12 points to his name as Curtis tries to save a loose ball as it goes out of bounds. 42-41, PHS trailing, and that is the fourth lead change of the night. 2:30 remaining in the third quarter as Gavin Elkamill will take a seat. And the Dragons have just played sluggish basketball. Offense has not been the name of the game for this club as Javon Grant is now on the floor. He'll defend McQuillan on the perimeter. It's reversed. Right wing to Thomas, and Thomas work with the rock. Left wing, Remington will attack. Curtis tries to take a charge, but Remington recovers. Tough fall-away shot. That one goes, and that was akin to Dirk Nowitzki as Jaden Remington recovered a ball that should have been called a charge, and then with the left foot, right-hand fadeaway for two, and a foul as Trenton Austin went right into the torso of Reese Thomas. 44-41 the score as Thomas picks up his first foul and the team's third of this second half as Caleb Adams is set to check in. Into the line, as mentioned before, Trenton Austin. He'll set torso level, flicks his wrist. Beautiful 90-degree angle from his elbow to his forehead and shot the sphere, and it went through the bottom of the net with ease. These are the fifth and sixth free throws attempted by Austin tonight as he knocks down both. He's 5 of 6 from the line, 13 points as PHS pulls within one. McQuillan in the backcourt, gets to the front court, defended by Javon Grant. The freshman rips it loose, and then a foul by McQuillan, and all of the PHS bench wants an intentional foul. And following just your run-of-the-mill foul committed by McQuillan, Coach McQuillan wants a foul called on Javon Grant. Javon Grant was very handsy. There was no checking, but McQuillan, I would have to agree with the crowd in that regard. When it comes to intentional fouling, which I believe is in Rule 4 of the NFHS handbook, if it's any sort of foul that impedes the progress of a player who is not advancing the basketball, and Rolfs was not, it should be an intentional foul. And a couple free throws, but instead it's a lay-in for PHS. 4-2 and 45-44 the score as the Dragons reclaim the lead. Adams working baseline. Cooper far side corner. Remington his three straight away, and the rainbow attempt falls through for Jaden Remington. His first three-pointer of the night. He has 13 points, tied for the game high. 47-45 and a foul on the floor. And it's committed by Bernard, and it is his third. 3 fouls in his third frame by Bernard. He goes to the bench on a hot shooting night where he's 6 of 6. And onto the floor for the Lions, it's Tangerman. Rolfs to inbound. He looks, scans, has Javon Grant who rips through. Grant with the rock. Right-hand sling pass to the right wing. Austin forks it over to the point. Working with the rock is English before he finds Drew Rolfs. Austin will shoot a three. That one was a bullet, an absolute laser, but it's an offensive rebound by Grant. He has Curtis double clutching, shields the ball towards his right side of his body and finishes. Dragons tied it up. 47 apiece now after the Javon Grant offensive rebound. And the defensive chance start for the Dragons now. Left corner, it's Adams. Head fake shown by Remington. He goes into the chest of English, and a good call by the lead official on the baseline as English came down with his right hand and slapped the ever-living mercy out of Remington. Easy call, and you could hear, I could hear with my headset on, the slap from the second level. 24, seconds remaining in the third quarter, and it's 47 all as Remington's unable to cap off the front of his 2 free throws, and they'll have a second opportunity. He leads all Lions scorers with 13. The Lions with 3 double-digit scores tonight. Second shot. Remington, the ball will hop off the lip of the iron, then smooch the bottom of the nylon. Curtis the inbound. He has English about 3/4 court, following Adams, who was just playing man defense in the backcourt against Javon Grant. And now with 17 seconds left, Grant will size up Adams. Right wing to Rolfs. Rolfs brings the ball below his belt, then rips through to the left. 9 seconds to go. Left wing with the rock It's Austin will find English, who scans low. He has 4 seconds left. Drew Rolfs needs to go to work. He steps back, finds Marquis English. History is up and off the back iron, and that will spell the end of the third quarter of play as the Lansing Lions on the road, the 16th seed in Class 5A's East bracket, are up 1 point heading into the final frame of action. You are listening to Pittsburg High School Basketball on Radio X 103.5, The Evolution. Back in 30 seconds.
Located in Pittsburg, Guest Home Estates 4 provides independent and assisted living services in a warm and friendly environment. They are Medicaid approved and work hard to meet their clients' needs affordably, efficiently, and compassionately. Guest Home Estates 4 would like to congratulate both the girls and boys Pittsburg High School basketball teams on a great season and continued success throughout the playoffs, and a special wish to the seniors. Guest Home Estates 4, call them today and get a peace of mind. 620-235-0522. Go Dragons!
Let's go back live courtside.
The 5-15 record Mark McQuillan's Lansing Lions boast is not indicative of their play, and the confidence as well as swagger they have brought into Pittsburg High School heading into the fourth quarter with a 48-47 lead over the number 1 overall seed in Class 5A's East bracket, alongside Caleb Wood now with Anthony Sweeney, our superb sublime board op back at our 103.5 studio. Cam Molina with you. At halftime, it was 32-31. Dragons, after 1 quarter of play, it was 15-13. The largest lead of the night was 9 points by PHS, and that was in the second quarter when the Dragons went on a 9-0 run. Right wing with the rock is Jared Butchers. He spins away from McQuillan. McQuillan and company force a turnover as Remington is able to purloin the basketball near the baseline. Bad pass by Butcher as he tried to force the rock in between 2 defenders. Left wing Remington on the far end of the court works the ball with his right hand, and as he dribbles, he finds McQuillan, who goes up, scoops the shot up right-handed, and converts. McQuillan and the Lions have been excellent finishing layups through traffic, and there has been little to no resistance with almost this kind of 4-out, 1-in, or 5-out offense ran by the Lions. Remington, good defense against English as he stood up. He almost was able to get the stick back, but credit McQuillan coming away with a ripped-away rebound. After corralling the board, McQuillan will find an open Bernard, who earned 3 fouls in that third quarter. And attacking baseline, Remington bumps into Chase Curtis of the Dragons, and that's a charge call. That is 2 on Remington. That is the 16th foul by the Lions. So the Dragons, if they continue to be assertive and aggressive, bonus free throws will be coming up soon. Butcher, dart pass into the recesses of the far side corner in front of the PHS fan section, all decked out in mixed attire. English triple team amongst the 2-1-2 zone. Butcher steals the ball away, goes up left-handed, and he scores. Excellent steal by the junior guard from the backside as Bernard was completely unaware of his surroundings. McQuillan is able to rip a pass to the left wing. Bernard shovels the ball right wing, and it's another turnover as Chase Curtis shouts to his bench and gets everyone hyped up as the intensity ratcheting up inside Pittsburg High School's main gymnasium. 6:30 remaining in the first sub-state contest inside Pittsburg High School's gymnasium. 50-49, Lansing still leads by 1 point, but if you are just joining us alongside Caleb Wood now, Anthony Sweeney back in our 103.5 studio, Cam Molina with you. Make sure to watch all of your favorite Dragons and Lions on our live stream at ESPN100.7.com. I updated everyone in the third quarter, but to reiterate at halftime, Pittsburg State's men's basketball team vying for a position to play in the quarterfinals of the MIAA men's tournament in Kansas City lead the Lincoln Lions, the number 9 seed, 31-26. And the second half is set to begin shortly, so make sure intermittently to check in with that contest. And second half just started, and it's 31-27 now, so a 4-point lead for the Gorilla men. But in this contest, you cannot talk about how poised this Lansing team has been enough. They have been miraculous. The way they've worked the ball around without hesitation and have found open teammates on driving lanes and have been completely unselfish cannot be talked about enough. And keep in mind, the Dragons playing teams from a lot of the KC area, so regardless if Pittsburg High School wins, they'll have another Kansas City team awaiting them, whether that is Topeka, or excuse me, not Topeka Seaman, but the likes of St. Thomas Aquinas or Topeka Highland Park. I mean, you're still going to play a pretty tough squad as it's a travel by the Dragons, a turnover, which gives the ball right back to the Lions. In the backcourt, McQuillan with the sphere. He'll dribble the ball with his right hand and then make the okay side with his left hand. His index and thumb touching, attacking. Adams gets to the high post, darts the ball to the far side corner. Remington sizing up Curtis before he floats the ball over to the top of the key. A sputtering pass from the point over to the left wing. Adams jabs to the right. He thought about deking out English, but English will switch. An attacking baseline. A good move by McQuillan, and he hoists up a shot. It will take an easy hop off the back iron and drops to the bottom of the netting. McQuillan and Bernard, to my count, have not missed a shot tonight. McQuillan 6 of 6, Bernard 6 of 6. Butcher straightaway trifecta for PHS is able to sink it. And now the way to drop anchor from the junior point guard for PHS. With under 5:30 left in the contest, it is 52 all. Cooper dribbles left-handed, shallow one hopper to the near side corner where Bernard scoops it up. Adams double teamed by English and Elkamil. Skip pass. Remington wide open right wing three. He's unable to answer back as the ball saucers out. Curtis, 4th rebound of the contest for him. And Remington drops to 1 of 4 from deep. And the Lions have had a pinch tonight of shooting some ill-advised threes and missing some open shots from behind the arc. They are 5 of 12. Curtis at the point. And from the top of the arch, he works it around left wing. Elkamil right back to Rolfs. High post. English double team. Steps through. Spins away from Remington and is fouled on his way to the basket. Remington trips on the shoe of English and hits the deck. And the senior forward for PHS not wanting to play his last game of his high school career, as he forced the ball down the throat of the Lions defense and will go to the line. That is 3 on Remington.
Number 32, Marquis English.
English to the stripe. His right foot staggered slightly in front of his left foot. Left foot pointed a bit out to his left as he brings the ball to his forehead, flicks his wrist, and scores. The Dragons have shot fairly well from the free throw line. As tonight they are 8 of 11, and after these 2 free throws, if the second one goes, no, 1 of 2, but Elkamil with the rebound. PHS is 9 of 13. Elkamil looks for English, and English is fouled in the air as he went straight to the basket on a beeline cut. That is the 18th foul committed by this Lions bunch. And it's on McQuillan, his second. Allen will sub in, Bernard to the bench, and English with a chance to redeem himself. But on the topic of Elkamil, he now has 5 rebounds, 2 of them offensive, including that last possession. Elkamil's first free throw, English, his first free throw is good. Both have E's in the last name, so there's the confusion. But the first one goes. That was English's 6th free throw attempt of the night, his 7th on its way. And he is now 3 of 7 and has struggled as the Dragons are 10 of 15 from the charity stripe.
The personal foul is called on number 24, Gavin Elkamil. That'll be his second personal foul, the 4th team foul on Pittsburg.
And a foul on Elkamil, his second on the loose ball. That is his second and the team's 4th. McQuillan uses his left hand and starts making a fist, balls his hand into a fist, and then waves it back and forth to initiate the half-court set. Remington will attack baseline, reverse lay and blocked by Elkamil. After he tracked down the board, he rushes in transition, looks left corner, three-pointer, Rolfs, and turns the tide of the contest. Drew Rolfs with a big trifecta to put the Dragons up 5. 4 minutes left for one of these teams in their season. McQuillan works the rock with his right hand, continues to dribble, goes with an in and out move. He's defended by English, tries to go with a pass, right-handed. English knocks it away. Loose ball, tied up English and McQuillan, and Coach McQuillan uses a timeout. What a fast, hair-triggered attempt by the coach for the Lansing Lions, as Connor McQuillan was swarmed by both English and Butcher. 3:50 left in the fourth quarter. High tension basketball and a 5-point lead for PHS, up 57-52 with under 4 minutes to go in the final quarter of one of these two teams' season. We are back in 30 seconds with Radio X 103.5 and your home of Purple Dragon basketball.
Grilling season's year-round in these parts. You can almost hear the sizzle of a juicy steak. Don't forget to check your propane levels, and if you're low, it's time to head to Kirkland Welding Supply. Most 20-pound grill tank exchanges contain only 17 to 18 pounds of propane, but at Kirkland's, when you get your grill tank filled, Kirkland's will fill it to 20 pounds. Why pay for propane you aren't getting? Kirkland Welding Supply, 3rd and Joplin in Pittsburg, and at 1301 East Wall in Fort Scott, open 8 to 5 Monday through Friday and 9 to noon Saturday.
Stream this online at ESPN1007.com.
You heard the tag. Heading into live action, you can watch all of your favorite Purple Dragons play on our web stream at ESPN100.7.com. You are listening to Radio X 103.5, The Evolution. Caleb with now Anthony Sweeney, our terrific board op. Cam Molina with you right now, 57-52. The Dragons lead by 5, and the twilight of this contest, one team will have their season done, as this is the Class 5A sub-state matchup that not many people have been talking about, as it's the 1 and 16 seed, but the 1 seed in jeopardy of having their season turned to dust. But a steal by Butcher. English in transition, foul, tosses up a shot and nearly runs into one of the photographers for the Purple Dragons, a student currently practicing their craft, but English does a good job bracing himself against the padded brick wall, and it's the 3rd foul committed by McQuillan and the 19th foul committed by the Lions. English from the line tonight, 3 of 7, make it 4 of 8, a 50% mark, as the 9th attempt of the night by Marquis English is set to be attempted. Second shot, that one goes 2. The Dragons tonight have shot 12 of 17 from behind the arc as Adams has the ball poked loose. It's off the head of Curtis as it ricocheted off the black-haired Sporting Curtis. The ball rolls into the hands of Ross. Wow, it looked like a one-timer off the head from a soccer player. Sporting KC on the floor as Elkamil catches left wing in a travel by the sophomore guard in Elkamil. Curtis's forehead attempt was actually a pass. As Cooper will come into the ball game for the Lions, Allen will get a breather. And a timeout used by Coach Wolf, just a 30-second timeout. The 7-point lead that the Dragons are sporting right now, the largest of the night. I said at one point it was a 9-point lead, a correction. The Dragons went on a 9-0 run in the second quarter to make it a 5-point lead for them. But the 7-point lead on the scoreboard currently, with 3:09 left in the contest, is the largest of the night by either side. And PHS happy to have it in their favor in front of a large home crowd. But PHS, if they are to win tonight, will stay at home and play the winner of St. Thomas Aquinas and Topeka Highland Park. And we will try to find an update for you in that matchup as soon as possible, preferably as soon as this game's done. But in sub-state number 2, KC Slagle playing Shawnee Heights, the 15th seed, and then Olathe West against KC Turner, Wyandotte against St. James Academy, and Mill Valley against Washington High School, part of that as well. Topeka Seaman and Overland Blue Valley Southwest. Those are your top 4 seeding teams in the Class 5A East bracket against their opponents. Curtis defending on the perimeter against Remington, just man-to-man defense. At the top of the key, it's Adams. He'll go with a head fake, and he's trying to deke out Elkamil. He'll go with the right-hand hook shot. That one was a prayer, and it bounced off the window and dropped to the bottom of the net. What a shot by Caleb Adams as he went with the head fake, spun away from Elkamil, faked a pass, and the right-hand shot high in the air, and it just glanced off the backboard and down to the bottom of the netting. Under 2:30 to go in the contest, a 5-point game. Jarek Butcher spins away the high post, has English go, slaps the ball hard off the window, and it goes through the bottom of the net. English 7 of 12 from the floor, 19 points, 2 rebounds. McQuillan darts a pass, left wing, Cooper and company starting to feel the pressure of the season coming to a close. They need to remain poised, though, in these last 2 minutes. McQuillan tries to force a pass in the low post, and it's stolen away by Rolfs. Butcher in the backcourt will slow down the offense's tempo. High ball screen set by Curtis. Right wing head fake by Rolfs before he reverses it back out to a 6'6" forward in Curtis. Left wing, Elkemill. Elkemill sizes up the defending Allen, will try to go off the dribble, and Allen using his hands to force Elkemill back out. That was an easy call. That was all hand checks from start to finish. 10th team foul committed by Lansing. And a double bonus for the Dragons. I'm not sure if that is what Coach McQuillan wanted, if it was through the prism of an intentional foul, or if that was just Adams trying to keep Elkemill in front of him. Regardless, Elkemill will sink his first free throw. This will be his first and second attempt of tonight as he steps up to the bar, spins the sphere in his hands, sets, flicks his wrist, and that one's good. Elkemill, 5 points. His backcourt mate Drew Rolfs with 11. That's 16 of the team's 63 points. They are up 9, the largest lead of the night for the Dragons. Cooper and company will have to really start forcing the ball down low as Elkemill comes away with the steal. He loses the ball, dives on the floor for it, has Rolfs. The ball trickles along the hardwood, picked up by Butcher, who will whip a pass to an open Curtis right block, but it's knocked away by a trailing Remington. The Dragons' defense down the stretch has been nearly insurmountable as Lansing has imploded in this fourth quarter, coming into the final frame of action up 148-47, but the Dragons have really stuck it to the Lions, taming them for the most part. Inbound near side quarter from Butcher to English. Rolfs will find Elkemill, chest pass, and not expecting the pass Curtis is. The egg is right in his lap. Butcher, right wing extended, he brings the ball above his forehead. Rolfs will work with the rock. Cooper using his left double to keep Rolfs outside of the arch. Crossing over from right to left, Rolfs flashing up Butcher. Butcher working with the sphere, dribbling with his right hand. He's double teamed and a foul. And McQuillan did not want to commit the foul, but probably in the best interest of the Dragons, or rather, excuse me, the Lions, to send Butcher to the free throw line, as he's been a bit of a shaky free throw shooter this season. In addition, that stops the clock with 56 seconds left. Lansing, the fight they have provided tonight against the Dragons, something to marvel at, as the first free throw from Butcher does not fall. They'll have a backup one, though. At the Pittsburg high school fan base, you can feel the energy from them starting to permeate, and it's starting to manifest in the forms of hands up and fingertips waving. Butcher, his free throw good. Inbounds into the backcourt. Adams streaks a pass in transition, but Butcher jumped in the passing lane from the far side right wing to the far side sideline and swatted the ball away. He had both of his mitts on the ball and just lost it. Cooper gets the ball in the front court with 52 seconds to go. Flashing up McQuillan behind the back. Steps through for a three-pointer. Not even in the same area code. Elkemill with the defensive rebound, his 6th of the night. Butcher skips it ahead. And Rolfs still in the backcourt, needs to get across the timeline as he finds Butcher. Butcher crosses over, looks for the lob. English just tips it over to himself. Right hand shot, good. Marquis English has put this baby to bed. 66-54, the Dragons with their largest lead of the night. And a 19-point fourth quarter for the Dragons. And the floater by Cooper hobbles around the orange and drops through. 66-56, a 10-point ball game. Dragons with the lead. And it has been a fourth quarter characterized by timely shots. Drew Rolfs hit a big three-pointer, and then free throws down the stretch for this club. They've hit 15 of their possible 21 compared to the Lions, who have been just as aggressive, but have been able to convert around the rim more often than the Dragons have shot 3 of 4 from the free throw line. And then just the reliance on the three ball in that third quarter, hoisting up 12 total threes compared to the 5 makes, have really put a damper on this Lions team's evening. And with 17 seconds left, Coach McQuillan and company are just trying to devise a plan to play out the rest of this game. And obviously winning still in the mind, but 17 ticks, I'm not sure how much you can do with that. An update from the Pittsburg State game, 51-37. The Gorilla men midway through the second half of play have a 14-point lead with a chance to go to Kansas City on the line and compete in the MIAA tournament's quarterfinals. Curtis will inbound for PHS following the Cooper floater that hobbled around the rim and then finally dropped through. Curtis to inbound with a game against St. Thomas Aquinas or Topeka awaiting them. Butcher double team in the backcourt and a foul on the floor, and that's the guy you want to foul again as Butcher 1 of 2 from the free throw line. We'll head to the stripe. Topeka Highland Park High School and Overland Park St. Thomas Aquinas dueling it out in Aquinas' main gymnasium. As I'm talking, I'm trying to search Twitter for that St. Thomas Aquinas score. As the first free throw from Butcher goes through. Butcher, after knocking down his first free throw, will have a second opportunity. He sets, knee level, the ball will spin off the lip of the iron, then take 2 hops off the back iron and drops through. Butcher 3 of 4 on the night. McQuillan looks, left side short corner, the 2 from Bernard, no good. Curtis grapples the rebound, and another foul with 7 seconds to go. And it's tough for the Lions to come to terms with this being the end of their season. However, a lot of youth on this team, and don't expect Lansing to win just 5 games next year with Remington and McQuillan playing like they did tonight. You can expect a double-digit win team next season, as not only have I been, but the rest of this PHS crowd has been blown away by what the Lions did through those first 3 quarters. Charles Wood will enter the ball game. In addition, it will be Makai Wilson, Jake Tengeman. Ben Vardaman will also come on the floor, and round it off, Reese Thomas says that is the white flag waved by Coach McQuillan, and the Dragons up 13 following Curtis's first make can reach that 70-point plateau yet again, and they do just that. 10 points scored by Curtis as Thomas goes across the timeline. Left wing, left short corner, the 2's on its way. No, and a late foul called. English tried to close on the perimeter against Wood, but Wood will go to the free throw line. As for free throws are on their way, but free throws will come from Wood, and then the celebrating will begin for the Dragons as, again, they are awaiting the result of the St. Thomas Aquinas game to see who they will have next on their home floor. And everyone is forced to line right back up on the free throws. Wood. Second free throw, no. Rebound, seals it. And with that, the Pittsburg High School Purple Dragons boys basketball team will play Friday and fight for their chance to go to Topeka, Kansas, and play among the 8 best teams in Class 5A in the state of Kansas. Final score, 70-57, a 13-point win, and for the first 3 quarters, I don't think anyone would have thought the Dragons would have put up 70 points tonight. In addition, win by 13. Credit Coach McQuillan and the Lions for all the moxie and confidence they brought to the hardwood tonight. In addition, the execution on the offensive and defensive end. And we'll step aside for 2 minutes and bring you back more action here on Radio X 103.5, your home of Purple Dragon Athletics.
Hi, this is Dr. Brent Cousins with SEK Urgent Care. When you're sick, when you're injured, or when you just don't feel like yourself, SEK Urgent Care is here for you. Let our skilled providers treat your non-life-threatening illness or injury at a fraction of the time and cost of an ER visit. Located at the corner of Centennial and Broadway in the Meadowbrook Commons. Open 7 days a week for your convenience. SEK Urgent Care, where your family and time matter. Find us fast on names and numbers.
When you get engaged and need to pay Headquartered in Richmond, Kansas, QSI Quality Structures Incorporated specializes in designing and building complete post-frame buildings. We provide structures built to withstand a 30-pound ground snow load and a 90-mile-per-hour wind shear built to the most stringent codes. Whether you need a garage, agricultural building, commercial facility, or custom-built design, we're your one-stop shop for post-frame buildings. QSI. Everything we do is right on cue.
What do you want from your bank?
Access to my account information on my phone.
Security, convenience, and friendly staff.
When I call, I want to speak with a real person.
I want it all. Low fees, low loan rates, and high deposit rates.
What if there was a place like this in your community? There is. Kansas Teachers Community Credit Union, with locations in Pittsburg, Fort Scott, Independence, and Coffeyville, serving area residents since 1949.
1830, or stop by today at 1018 North Broadway in Pittsburg to check out the Hustler line of zero-turn mowers. Hustler mowers, made in America at Bittner Motors, Pittsburg.
High school basketball on ESPN 100.7.
And we welcome you back for the last time here on Radio X 103.5, The Evolution. Caleb Withnow, Anthony Sweeney, our board op, Cam Molina with you in what was an absolutely riveting, spirited performance by the Lansing Lions in a 70-57 loss against the Pittsburg High School Purple Dragons. But Kylie Rolfs and his boys executed when it mattered as they put up a 23-point fourth quarter of play compared to the 11 points scored by Lansing in that final frame. Let's take you through the quarter-by-quarter scoring. As mentioned before, final score 70-53. But in the first quarter, it was 15-13. This was a very much each team feeling each other out process. And I mentioned to Coach Rolfs, stressed in our interview during our pregame show about, this is a team you're very familiar with, and how does that process go about, and some of the scouting that had to be done in just a few short days to be able to prepare for this contest. One, really speaks volumes about the coaching staff for the Dragons and Lansing, but the Dragons had a difficult time handling the zone, which was a combination of 2-3 and 2-1-2 shown by the Lions throughout most of the ball game. But in the fourth quarter, everything started to come to fruition for the Dragons in terms of being able to whittle down that low post and some of the reserves, and the fatigue started to set in for the Lions as a lot of their starters played most of the minutes tonight. And let's get you those starters after we read through the final couple quarter scores. 32-31 at halftime, and then after 3 quarters of play, Lansing led 48-47. So just a great effort by this Lions team tonight, and we'll start with their scoring margin as Caleb Adams had 12 points tonight. Logan Bernard with 13 in the contest. In addition, 13 points scored by Connor McQuillan for this Lions team, including 5 rebounds to his name, and he was vicious on the glass, and being able to rebound at that guard spot is an invaluable trait for any perimeter player. And for those individuals who are wanting to pursue basketball at the high school level, even further at the collegiate level, if you can rebound and you're a guard, there are going to be teams that look at you just because of the effort you put forth at that level of the game. In addition, it was Antoine Cooper with 5 points. Jaden Remington started off hot, but it seemed to be just a flash in the pan as he had 8 first quarter points and then kind of dwindled from there on out as he wrapped up with 14, but he still spaced the floor really, really well and provided some perimeter shooting. And in addition, it was Andrew Allen who wrapped up with a couple of rebounds, and then Tengeman came off the bench for a couple boards, and in addition, Charles Wood with 1 point. With that, let's ask the man himself about tonight's performance as Kylie Rolfs, head boys basketball coach of the Pittsburg High Purple Dragons, joins us on Radio X 103.5. Coach, probably not the way you wanted things to play out, but it was still a victory nonetheless. Talk about that fourth quarter and how your guys were able to execute down the stretch.
Well, it was, we did make some plays in the fourth quarter that we really, frankly, didn't make a lot of in the first 3 quarters. I thought in the fourth quarter we finally settled down a little bit. I didn't know if we were ever going to get our guys just to kind of, at halftime we said we were going about 3 miles per hour too fast on the offensive end. And it led to a lot of sloppy play, to some turnovers, and just not good execution and not doing the things that are good for us and good to us. And we came back out in third quarter, and I didn't really think we settled in very much either. Finally, in that fourth quarter, I thought we settled in. We got some stops. We got some hands on basketballs on the defensive end. It led to some, and we were a lot more productive on the offensive end there in the fourth quarter. We got the ball to the rim. We knocked down a couple big jump shots as well, and then we were able to finish it at the free throw line. You tip your caps to Lansing. I thought they came in and 16 seed. They came in, and I think they just kind of said, we got nothing to lose. Let's go get after these guys and see what happens. And for 3.5 quarters, they sure in the heck did that pretty dang well. We just were fortunate enough to finally get it done.
Well, Coach, you talk about getting the ball to the rim. I mentioned at halftime some of your front court players being able to catch the basketball, look on the perimeter, and it really helped en route to a 5 of 8 shooting performance from deep. And Drew Rolfs hitting some big threes down the stretch. Just talk about how the front court and how the ball was moved down there really opened the outside.
Well, it did. I mean, every team we play right now is going to try to stop us inside first, and we're fortunate enough to have some guys that can knock down the shot as well, and we did. When they did take a few of those things away, I thought our guys stepped in and knocked down some big shots. And in the second half, we hit some real opportune ones, and they were big without a doubt, and our bigs were willing to share it. I just really thought in the first half we threw it in quite a bit, and we just didn't really attack the rim strong. For whatever reason, I thought we went in there, we got some shots blocked. We as often as we got the ball inside, we should have drawn more fouls than we did, but we didn't, and I think it had a lot to do with us just not attacking the rim.
Well, Coach, can you talk about your bench a little bit? Trenton Austin giving you some very valuable minutes, 13 points off the bench, and then in addition, Javon Grant, his defensive intensity was bar none tonight. Just talk about those two guys and what they meant to today's game.
Our bench has been big all year, and those are two of the guys that have been coming off the bench most of the year, and you're right. I mean, I thought Javon really came in and gave us some lift defensively when we needed it there at a couple different times in the game. Trento's just been productive for a while now. And so, those guys have the ability to not let us really have any kind of a slip-off when we go to the bench, and they've been good about doing that, and hopefully we can continue that.
Well, Coach, short preparation time. I've been scanning Twitter as we're talking and have yet to been able to find a St. Thomas Aquinas Highland Park score, but just talk about the preparation process in that between Tuesday and Friday.
Well, the good news is it's Tuesday and Friday, and we've been doing this for a while now. I mean, we've been able to stay into a rhythm with Tuesday and Friday, and when we saw that the 5A was going sub-state this year to Tuesday and Friday for the boys, I mean, we were excited about that because it just gives our guys a chance to stay in regular rhythm, and so that's how we'll do it the same way we've been doing for however long it's been, and we'll use tomorrow to kind of review tonight and talk about and work on a couple things that we got to do better, and then Thursday will be heavy prep for our opponent Friday night.
And this just in, St. Thomas Aquinas beating Highland Park 71-59, so just getting that through right now. Coach, I appreciate the time, and congratulations on the first sub-state win. Get ready for Friday.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Once again, that was Kylie Rolfs, head boys basketball coach of the Pittsburg High School Purple Dragons. Just some very obligatory stats to give you perfunctory, if you will, as Chase Curtis with 10 points, 5 rebounds, 11 points scored by Drew Rolfs, 2 rebounds on 3 of 4 shooting from deep, and some very timely threes. I think those 3 of 4 three-pointers looks great on paper, but in addition, just the timeliness of those shots, and they came during critical moments. I think they're even more potent than they are on the stat sheet. 5 points, 6 rebounds by Gavin Elkamill, 21 points scored by Marquis English. He was a high scorer tonight with 2 rebounds, and he struggled shooting 8 of 13. Credit Lansing, as Coach Rolls said, defensively absolutely swarmed to the basketball and brought that 2-1-2 and that 2-3 zone, and did a great job collapsing whenever the ball was caught in the low post. Jarek Butcher wraps up with 10 points, 1 of 1 shooting from deep, as well as 3 of 4 shooting from the free throw line. And then Trenton Austin off the bench, 13 points and a rebound. Final score, 70-57. The Pittsburg High School Purple Dragons boys basketball team will be at home, taking on the likes of the St. Thomas Aquinas Club on Friday. Before we sign off, just a quick update. Wednesday, PHS girls basketball team will be on the road playing at Leavenworth. They are the 9 seed taking on the 8 seed in the Pioneers, so make sure to tune into that. We will be on our normal station at ESPN 100.7 as well as ESPN100.7.com. We will begin live streaming just prior to tip-off, which is scheduled for 7 o'clock, so approximately 6:45 as Chris Krotz and his girls seek to advance in the sub-state bracket. But again, 70-57. Pittsburg High School boys basketball team prevails today and will take on St. Thomas Aquinas Friday. From Caleb Withnow as well as Anthony Sweeney, our terrific board op, Cam Molina signing off. You've been listening to Radio X 103.5 The Evolution. Have fun and be safe.